at Sam Rayburn Reservoir. It's late spring, the water is warming, and fish are starting to set up for their summer pattern. But after 2 weeks of heavy rain, lake levels are up over 3 feet, scattering fish throughout newly flooded vegetation.
Lake's fishing tough. We've basically come up 2 foot in the last week and a whole lot of new water here.
It's got everything messed up, to be honest.
Places this time last year that we were fishing that were 3 foot of water is probably like 8 foot of water right now. So
we're getting a lot of bites up shallow, and I think everybody is, but I don't believe you can win it up there.
We've got back-to-back events this weekend on Rayburn, the last stop before the championship, and the action starts right now on the Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Welcome to the piney woods of East Texas. It's just before dawn on Sam Rayburn, and teams are making last-minute preparations.
Game plan for today, move a lot.
We're going to start out shallow, fishing cypress trees, and then we're going to go out deep and see if we can get a couple good ones.
what's got to happen to do well?
20 pounds.
Sam Rayburn came up 2 feet this last week. It's kind of give everybody a run for the money trying to scramble to find some fish. It's changed everything that this lake was doing. So it should be a good tournament. Whoever catches them will have to go out there and figure them out today.
What's your game plan?
We're going to start shallow frog fishing, and then go deep with a Carolina rig, and then maybe flip some bushes. We'll try it all to keep it honest.
With post-frontal conditions settling in today, we're looking at high skies, a light north wind, and a high in the low 80s. We've got 224 teams on the water and a total purse worth better than $106,000. The team coming out on top will take home a Mercury-powered Nitro Z18. For the details, look us up at texasteamtrail.com. Getting right into tournament coverage. This is the team of Stan Gerzeni and Mike Perkins. With the high water and an early morning shad spawn, we should see much of the field throwing topwater or other reaction baits early before backing off into deeper water once the sun rises.
Scaring bait. I said lots of bait popping, but
Fresh off a win at our first stop in Amistad, Stan and Mike picked up a $42,000 prize package, including a brand new Mercury-powered Triton boat and a couple grand in big bass and angler advantage money. Now, it's a whole different day on a whole different fishery.
We're just going pre-fishing is all we're doing. We're literally starting in an area we haven't been to in 2 years. So we're just going fishing is all we're doing.
conditions are kind of tough. I think it's going to be bluebird skies and light winds, so we're going to have to see if we can get them to bite early, because it's going to be tougher later in the day, I believe. So ran back to the back of this cove where the creek enters and start throwing spinner baits and some top waters. Got bit with a little one on the spinner bait, twice actually. Second one we didn't get in, but now slipped over to a buzz bait, see if we can get something going before the sun gets up too high.
Good one. Your little fella.
He's fighting like a 10-pounder.
Hmm?
So he's fighting like a 10-pounder. He might keep. Like I said, I think that one will get a limit, but I don't know if it's going to get the big ones.
Yeah.
But we kind of need a limit first, don't we?
It's 15.
If we have to weigh him in, we could be in trouble.
We'll call him later. Call him with a 5-pounder. Trying to cover a little water back in here and see if we can catch a few early. Then we're gonna probably move out deep and do some cranking. Gotta be a few in here, but I feel like we're gonna have to move out deeper.
The Texas Team Trail is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. And by Lucas Oil and High Performance Marine Products.
When there's miles of water in front of you and hundreds of feet below, you need a boat with the chops to dominate, no matter the conditions. with the strength and technology to overcome the elements and the competition. Ranger Boats, still building legends, one at a time.
There's no feeling like it. When you've prepped the gear, done the research, found the spots, nailed the presentation, and now there's only one thing left to do. Keep fishing. So gear up with all the best fishing gear, only at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Shop in-store or online.
Hi, I'm Pro Angler Mark Rose.
And I'm
that's
Pro-
Pro Angler Andy Montgomery.
Hey,
You want your buzzbait to track true and squeal like a stuck hog? Use some Lucas Marine gear oil on it.
man, that candy bar looks good. What do we say? Safeguard with ethanol treatment. With ethanol fuel conditioner. Surely we got one in there.
You want your outboard engine to be in better condition than Andy Montgomery?
What'd you say?
Use this.
5,294.
Lucas Oil, made in America.
Sold to the world.
Welcome back to Sam Rayburn Reservoir and stop number 2 in the 2021 season of the Texas Team Trail presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. We launched 224 boats this morning from Humphrey Pavilion. There's $106,000 up for grabs today, including a brand new Nitro Mercury package for the champs. Getting back to tournament coverage, this is Dylan Thompson and Sid Wallace. Fishing back-to-back events this weekend, they had a late start. They're still trying to put a pattern together.
I think after the practice we had yesterday, we had a long drive coming in, didn't get on the water super early, couldn't really look for that shad bite. So we kind of started to explore some stuff, do some different things, and caught some fish, but never really put something certain together. Never could catch more than a couple fish doing one thing. Never got keyed in on a pattern or anything, or really an area. We called an audible this morning and just picked out a place on the map and said, let's hit it. Looked pretty good on the map. So, I don't know. We're gonna hope that something kicks off here pretty quick. I fished the first tournament at Amistad, I guess a couple weeks ago. Came in second place, had a really good tournament. It's my home lake. And this one we got Sid in the boat, so we're gonna go out and get them, hopefully.
How was your pre-fish?
Honestly, not great, but we saw some stuff we liked, so we're gonna try to run some new water and see if we can't put ourselves in contention to get around a few decent fish.
After sacking up 16.5 pounds for second place on their home water, Dylan and his dad celebrated, with little idea of what was to come.
We'd love to go out and catch a big bag from my dad. He passed away shortly after the Amistad tournament, and we just want to go out and show him we got it. So hopefully he helps us out today.
Yesterday I was actually out of town, 200 and something miles away, and Dylan texted me, and I don't remember what he asked. I said, "Are you fishing tomorrow?" And he goes, "Well, I'm taking a buddy out, him and his dad." I was like, "Okay," and he said, "Why?" And I said, "Well, isn't there a tournament? I was kind of wanting to fish a tournament." And he's like, "Well, I feel bad. I already told him I'd take him out for a few hours." And I said, "Well, talk to him and see." So Dylan called him and said, "Hey, would y'all mind if I took my dad fishing instead? We don't get to fish together very often." And so they said, "Yeah, sure." And they're actually here. They watched us weigh in and everything. They were happy. So it all worked out good. But Dylan's the big bass fisherman. I'm more of a catfish and striper kind of guy. I like to eat everything, and he won't let me keep the largemouth. So.
Second place, Danny and Dylan Thompson, $4,125.
He was ecstatic. He took off work and he was all about it. And of course we went and fished, and we didn't think we had that good of a bag, and then he was like, "Holy moly, we got second." It was the biggest deal to him, and it was really awesome to see that. And I think it was honestly meant to be that was gonna happen, because, you know, it's crazy. You never know when your last day with them's gonna be, and I'm glad I got to spend my last few days with my pops fishing. It definitely means a lot to me, and I really wish he was here, but I know he's watching over us.
Moving on, we'll check back with Mike Perkins and Stan Grzini. Still up shallow, they're getting bites, but not ones that matter.
Too little. Go get your mama. We're struggling a little bit, you know, we're not, obviously if there's fish in here, they're not too active. That's something we have not figured out, but catching a few little fish, this wind's starting to blow, hopefully it turn one on. I think we're just basically pre-fishing, so we're gonna not stick around in here too long, probably leave and move out, start doing some cranking. I see a lot of bait moving in here, but just hadn't got the confidence you need. There's got to be some good fish in here, probably buried in this stuff, but they're definitely not, seem like they're not out roaming around, at least not back in here anyway. There's one. The keeper, I think, yeah.
It's gonna be close. Yeah, they're on.
Like that other one.
That's the bait.
Yeah, come here, little fella.
We can just get one that's big enough.
Going down the edge of this creek channel.
Facing post-frontal conditions and high water, well, it's shaping up to be a tough bite on one of the best fisheries in the country. You're watching the Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. This segment is also brought to you by Nitro Boats, pro-level performance. Garmin Electronics, fight your fish, not your fish finder. Mercury Marine Outboards, go boldly. And by AFTCO, any fish, any water. Coming up, we'll get back on the water with more from Sam Rayburn Reservoir and the top-rated team tournament in the nation. The Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.
You have a full-time job and you want to be a full-time angler. Don't waste time scouting. You want to catch fish. That's where Garmin comes in. Our mapping with Navionics data lets you see more detail than the fish do. It's kind of a big deal. Oh, and our industry-leading live sonar is so crisp and clear you'll think you jumped in. You're welcome. Now, if only we had a powerful, efficient, whisper-quiet trolling motor. Actually, we do. It's called Force. We knew you'd like that. Less time finding, more time catching fish. Only with Garmin.
It's the first weekend in May on Sam Rayburn Reservoir. This time of year, bass are mostly post-spawn and should be transitioning into deeper water, setting up for the summer pattern. But 2 weeks of rain has dropped a pile of water, pushing the lake up, flooding thousands of acres of vegetation.
So it's kind of, I'm not saying messed a lot of stuff up, so we had a lot of fish already moving out, trying to get out in the summertime stuff, but now everything with the water up in the trees, the fish just turn around and head back up.
You know, the bites are there. You're going to get a lot of bites. There's two things going to play in. Are you going to get the size? And are you going to get them out of the thick stuff when you get them on? That's the bottom line. The guys that win's going to have the luck on their side.
Back on the water, this is Scott DeGrant and Shane Cotter.
We need a little bit of wind here. That wind's kind of died on us.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, so yesterday in practice it was pretty calm, and we caught a few fish in some areas, but I think we really needed the wind to kind of get those fish activated and biting and feeding and get some shad stirred around a little bit. which is why I think the moving baits are better today when it was windy, but it's starting to slick off a little bit now, and I think it's really supposed to blow tomorrow, so I think that should turn on the bite in the next day or two, but for now, we're just gonna have to kind of make do with what we have and see how it plays out. There ought to be one right there, Shane.
First name Robert, last name's Kettner. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and we're a long ways from home. We just pulled up here this morning and we started throwing top water because we seen these fish blowing up and they wouldn't really go on the top too good, so fired a jerkbait out, and first cast on the jerkbait we caught about 2.5, and then second cast caught another one about the same, and we probably caught about 20 fish so far today. We're just looking for big. Hopefully we can catch a bunch of numbers, and
there we go.
Our numbers will turn into some big ones. In net?
No, it's not. It's not that big. She won't help.
A lot of little ones though.
The weird part is we can't get bit really on anything else, and we're getting a lot of this where it's not even in their mouth. It seems like they're really finicky on how they're eating it. There's a decent one that blew up on the point.
They never want to open their mouth when they get ready, but we got 2 good ones and 2 squeakers, and we need 1 more keeper or 1 more big one. We might get paid today. We're not going to win with that, but we might get paid.
So we're getting towards the end of our day. We got about an hour and a half left, I guess, hour and 15 minutes. And so we're gonna really fish these last couple of spots. We're gonna give them a lot of time because they're proven spots. They're spots where we've caught big fish. And so we're just gonna hope one shows up, eats our cricket.
We need 1 good one or 2 good ones.
Yeah.
It's getting late in the day, and the first wave of anglers need to start thinking about prepping for the long run back to check-in. This is the team of Samuel Martin and Don Brinson.
Off this morning, fishing some spots where we did really well on a fluke, which is what I'm throwing now. Didn't happen. Also caught some fish on a trick worm, and we caught some, but short fish. Had 1 good fish, lost at the boat, about 3 pounds. And other than that, it's been tough.
We're just trying to put a limit together right now. Then we're gonna go do something different.
For our last stop of the day, we'll check in with Jimmy Lloyd and Anthony Wagispack. They've got a good limit for near 17 pounds.
Not an upgrade.
Dragging flukes deep on a Carolina rig. They're on better fish than most. And since we're paying down 34 places today, they're probably already in the money.
Not gonna help. But we'll take him. Bite. God bless.
You gotta be kidding me.
30 pound. I just snapped it on the hook set like a dummy. I know better. We started in here this morning. Well, this ain't where we started, but we came in here early this morning after we started on another spot. And they were going pretty good. We ended up getting 1 really good bite out of it. I think we caught our limit, and then we had probably one pushing about 8 pounds. And it kind of died off, so we got off of it and let it reload a little bit and came back in here a while ago, right before you got here. And Anthony stuck one about 5. So we're doing good. If we get 1 more big bite, which is kind of what we're doing, we don't care about the little ones right now. We just need 1 more big bite. I think we're gonna be in real good shape.
The Texas Team Trail presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's is also brought to you by TH Marine. From transom to trolling motor. Triton Boats, the driving force of performance fishing. And by Sunline, the strength to guarantee confidence. Coming up, we'll head back to Humphrey Pavilion for weigh-in, right here on the Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.
At Duckett Fishing, we have assembled the top pros in the country to help us design rods to give you a competitive advantage. Castability, strength, durability, action, sensitivity, weight and balance, and consistency. Combine that with the best warranty in the industry, and you have rods that are pro-driven.
Duckett Fishing, pro-driven.
TH Marine has been producing top-of-the-line marine accessories to rig boats from transom to trolling motor for decades. From jack plates to fish care to LEDs, TH Marine has you covered. TH Marine, outfitting your boat from transom to trolling motor.
Born in Japan, FC Sniper became the #1 fluorocarbon line in the Japanese market. It transitioned to the U.S. in the early 2000s and continues to grow in prominence with anglers. FC Sniper is the flagship product in the American market and bestseller. It features the perfect blend of abrasion resistance, low memory, and tensile strength. FC Sniper is offered in pound tests that range from 2 pound to 30 pound and in spool sizes up to 1,200 yards. FC Sniper has the strength to guarantee your confidence.
Welcome back to the final moments from stop number 2 of the Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Well, it was a tough day on the pond for most of the field. Light winds, high skies, and even higher water challenged even the most experienced anglers. Checking the numbers, less than half the field even managed to bring a 5-fish limit to the scales.
11:30, we were talking about throwing our fish back and going and getting a cheeseburger. So it was tough. It turned around probably the last 45 minutes today, and we caught just about everything we had.
We caught all 5 of our fish in the first 20 minutes this morning. It was fast and furious, real quick, and then we struggled the rest of the day. We caught a bunch of little fish, and that was about it.
That early morning bite was all Rusty and Corey needed. They sacked up 15-11 for 13th place. They'll take home $1,500. Your reigning Lucas Oil Team of the Year fared a bit better, putting 5 on the scales for $1,674 in 7th place. Checking the top of the leaderboard, anchored by an 8.66-pound bass, John Little and Danny Shellman weighed $1,825 for 3rd place, earning $6,860 for a day's work.
We burned a tank of gas today, just running and gunning and hitting different spots, and it's tough out there, but once we got a little game plan running, I don't know, we probably caught 15, 16 keepers today. We caught quite a bit, so.
They also picked up an additional $500 in Garmin tournament reward money for being the highest placing registered Garmin user.
Okay, Jason Moorhead and Ty Moorhead with 5 alive.
Jason and Ty Moorhead locked up 2nd place, weighing a limit for $1,889. They'll take home $7,393.
Knew we had a few schools found, and we was going to start on them, and first spot didn't pan out, so we went to the 2nd one, nothing, pulled up on the 3rd one. We weren't there 10 minutes. The biggest fish we caught was our 7, and we stayed there the rest of the day.
And finishing on top of a 224-boat field, Tommy Hill and Bubba Frazier pretty much ran over the competition, weighing a 5-fish limit that pushed the scales to $22.91.
Finally broke the 20-pound barrier, $22.91.
For their first win on the TXTT, Tommy and Bubba will take home a $36,000 prize package that includes a Mercury-powered nitro boat and $2,400 from the Angler Advantage side pot.
We got a late start. We had 220 boat numbers, so by the time we got down there, we figured everybody would be on our hole, but nobody was there. First fish we caught was at 7-something, and then we probably caught 2 more good fish there, moved around, caught a few, come back to that spot and caught another big fish. Pretty much a day.
Let's hear it again for these guys. These are your champions, Lake Sam Rayburn, Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.
Checking in on the Lucas Oil Team of the Year race, Lance Robelia and Cody Pratka led the field with the reigning Team of the Year, Shook and Isles, climbing back into the top 10 with 2 events left in the 2021 season. To learn more about the Lucas Oil Team of the Year program, contingency money, or for tournament schedules, head on over to TexasTeamTrail.com. The Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, is a joint presentation between Outdoor Teamworks and Carico TV. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Nitro, a rush of tournament adrenaline. Nitro, the choice of champions, where performance meets play. Nitro, a big water beast, a pure fishing machine. Nitro, release the champion within.